Whether you're learning a new skill, developing a new hobby, or just simply pursuing personal growth, setting clear goals is key to staying motivated and reaching whatever your definition of success is. Today, we're going to be tackling a topic that's essential for anyone looking to grow, which is just setting and achieving learning goals. We're going to be covering why setting goals is important, how to set effective goals, and practical strategies to achieve them. Also look at common challenges and how to overcome them. And of course, we'll be using the whiteboard throughout the sections just to highlight some key topics. So let's dive in first to the importance of setting goals, why you should set them, and what can you get out of them. So learning goals provides direction, motivation, and a clear path of progress. In a lot of our past videos, we talk about why setting smaller goals instead of huge, large goals can be incredibly beneficial, especially for reducing the amount of burnout you feel in your career path, in your hobbies, etc. They help you stay focused and measure your achievements over time. So long-term versus short-term goals, you should still have long-term goals, but keep those short-term goals to just to make sure that you're being rewarded and staying motivated. So it's important to distinguish between the long-term and short-term goals. Long-term goals are your big picture achievements, while short-term goals are the steps you take to get there. I hope that doesn't stay throughout the whole video. Let's go to the whiteboard. So why goals matter? We'll give it a little bit of a visual representation here. So goals give you direction, motivation, and they let you see your progress over time. And those are just three of the main benefits of creating goals, creating long-term and short-term goals. You can look at long-term and short-term goals like this. Actually, don't have an eraser. Aha. Just like a staircase. Horrible staircase up here. You can look at each step as your smaller goals, and up here, that's your long-term goal. So the small short-term goals eventually lead up to whatever sort of long-term goal you have. So let's look at how to set effective learning goals. We're going to talk about the SMART framework, which is the most common and is a proven technique that works for tons of people. Also, just after the SMART goals, I'll talk about my own method that I use in any situations where I'm participating in a hobby which involves making or creating something. So one of the most effective ways to set goals is by using the SMART framework. And let's go through each letter of the framework. So first is specific. You want to be clear about what you want to achieve. Instead of saying, I want to get better at painting, say, I want to master watercolor techniques, which will lead to me getting better. Measurable. Include measurable criteria to track your progress. For example, I want to complete one watercolor painting each week. Achievable. Set realistic goals that challenge you, but are still within your reach, that won't burn you out. Consider your current skill level and available time. If you're a busy person, you want to be able to have enough time to complete those goals. Relevant. Make sure your goals align with your broader interests and passions. If you love painting, focus on improving that skill rather than something unrelated, a lot of the times with hobbies, you get focused on something that isn't related to your hobby. Maybe you're really into painting, but you're striving off of actually painting and you're looking on a marketplace at paintings instead of actually painting yourself, and you might not get the same benefits of doing so. Time bound. Set a deadline for your goal. This creates a sense of urgency and helps you stay on track. I use this in my work all the time. I want to give myself a deadline to finish whatever task that needs to be done, and it really gives me some pressure, which I like. I find I work better under pressure as well. For instance, I want to complete a portfolio of 10 paintings in 3 months. Let's go to the whiteboard. Okay, so the SMART goals framework, most popular goal framework out there, which is just simply making specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. So you can either use this method, most popular method out there, works for a lot of people, or create your own method, like me. If I'm making something, I'll try and use the MVP method, or create some sort of method that works for you. Could be any sort of acronym you want to make. Doesn't have to follow. You can take some of these from it and put it in your own method. Doesn't really matter. Just figure out what sort of goal setting framework is best for you. So let's look at some strategies for achieving your learning goals. First up, like we mentioned earlier, break goals into smaller tasks. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Some smaller tasks that don't seem too overwhelming, don't cause you to burn out. This prevents you to be overwhelmed and keeps you motivated as you complete each step. Also takes advantage of your reward system on a physiological level. Create a learning schedule. Set aside dedicated time each day or week to work on not only your long-term, but also your short-term goals, those small manageable tasks. Consistency is key to making progress of any sort. Stay flexible and adapt. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's okay, but be open to adjusting your goals and timeline as needed whenever anything goes wrong or anything gets in the way of your learning. Seek feedback and support. Share your goals with a mentor or a learning community. Feedback from others can provide valuable insights and encouragement, and you can learn a lot from people who have completed projects or learned something that you're wanting to learn. They've already done it, so all you need to do is just learn how they did it and do the same. So strategies for achieving your learning goals. First up is, like we've said before, breaking down your big goals into smaller little tasks or smaller little goals. Create a learning schedule. Create some sort of, let's say this is a calendar. Create some sort of schedule. Maybe on, say this is Mondays, 5 to 6 p.m. That's your learning time. That's your hobby time. Create some sort of routine that you can follow consistently and isn't an annoyance or burning you out. Stay flexible and adapt. Constantly, you want to iterate through different methods of constantly progressing. If you hit a plateau, you want to figure out how you can get past it and how you can prevent it just completely demotivating you and straying you off the path of learning whatever you're trying to learn. And last up, don't have much space there, but it's just seek feedback and support from anybody you know, maybe a mentor on Hobby Solver Launchpad, family member, or if you're in a certain community for whatever you're learning, if it's a hobby, seek feedback from people who are where you want to be. So some common learning challenges and how to overcome them. The first up, most common of them all, is procrastination. It's a common challenge. To overcome it, start with the easiest task to build momentum and gradually move on to more challenging ones. This is an easy method to actually get going. A lot of people say the opposite. You want to eat the frog and do the hardest task first, get out of the way. But if you really struggle to do so, start with the easiest one just to build that momentum. Next up, lack of motivation. When motivation dips, revisit your why. The reason you set the goal in the first place. Why do you want to do it? what do you feel you'll get out of it? Remind yourself of the benefits you'll gain from achieving it. Last up, fear of failure. Everybody doesn't like the thought of failure, but it is an essential part of learning. Fear of failure can hold you back. Remember, you just have to embrace it as a stepping stone towards success, towards completing whatever your goal is. So one of the most important parts of learning is tracking and celebrating your progress so you don't get burnt out, so you keep your motivation up, and you really keep the passion behind whatever you're learning, whatever you're doing. So first up is you want to track your progress using a journal, app, spreadsheet. Spreadsheets are kind of boring, but I know a lot of people like them, so it's one method. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating, and you can look at any setbacks you've had and learn from them. Celebrate milestones, celebrate your achievements along the way. Rewarding yourself for reaching milestones can keep you motivated. Take advantage of your reward systems on a physiological level, and really just keeps you excited about learning whatever you're learning. And it's just a good practice to commit to, just rewarding yourself every time you achieve something new. Let's go to the whiteboard. So 2 things you want to do when you're not really setting your goals, when you're working towards them, is tracking your progress along your journey towards actually completing it. Track your progress along each little milestone, and really seeing any setbacks that you've experienced, anything you've learned, any skills you've acquired. And then any of these milestones you want to, let me draw a little celebrate your progress. Celebrate any small milestone you achieve, any new skill you've learned, any project you've completed. This keeps you motivated, and it really just keeps you going, keeps that momentum building, and keeps the excitement of learning going for, hopefully, if you can keep this up, endlessly. Okay, let's wrap this up. So today we've discussed the importance of setting learning goals, how to set SMART goals, and strategies for achieving them. Remember, setting clear goals is the first step to making consistent progress in your learning journey, in learning that new hobby, skill, really anything. Take some time today to set a learning goal for yourself using the SMART framework or a framework of your own. I mentioned earlier that I have created my own framework whenever I'm participating in a hobby that involves creating something or making something, which is the MVP method. It's make something, and you want to create a goal behind what do you want to make. And then V is visual. What sort of visual goals do you have for that product you're making? And P is physical. What sort of physical benefits do you want to get out of it? Such as if you're creating a painting, what sort of, let's say I want to improve my hand-eye coordination. So what learning goal are you setting next? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to see next week's video, and I'll see you later. Oh, and don't forget, go check out Hobby Solver Launchpad. It's our e-learning platform which focuses on hobbies and niche skills. The link is in the description, or you can go to our website and check out our mentors on there.